Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Well, that's a good idea, but make sure that Chris says that's okay too, because that strategy may not work with the CPA we're working with. So, we want to make sure that everybody can put together a cohesive plan and that nobody steps on each other's toes. And you may not know how often that happens, but I know I see it every single day when I see probably the number one culprit, I would say, is assets. I feel that assets under management or poor tax planning, those are probably the two things that we see every day that are not being really well managed. Sometimes people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in a 401k doing absolutely nothing for them.
Or what about those who have assets and are not protecting their assets?
That's right.
I just love saying that. And then we have estate planners that really give you the guidance, and Gino and I are personally going through that right now. And I feel more relieved than ever that my family's being protected, and there's a plan in process that's going to protect it and make it easy for everybody, our siblings, our family members, anybody, including our needs are going to be met because we're planning accordingly.
Yeah, and it's funny. There's so much to something, right? So you've got a trust, right? You should have a living trust in place. We've gone over that and tried to hit people over the head with it, but we know it's one of those things that's so hard to get going, but once you get going, it just gets done and it's great. So that's one of the things we feel is super important. Now, what that trust does is sometimes it brings up question about assets that you start thinking about, well, how should I deal with these assets? Is my mortgage the right mortgage? Do I have my financial plan with the right person? Who's going to manage my assets if I pass?
No doubt.
All those things come to fruition when you do your estate planning. So that's one of the
take care of our animals. That's my wife's big call.
Yeah. So that's, I would say, probably one of the central focus pieces of America's Professional Resource Group is let's get an estate plan in place because questions will stem from there.
No doubt. So, you wonder, how do we do this? Well, being in the industry as long as I have now, in 28 years, I've got a great group of clients that I've helped over the years, and now Gino and the team have helped out. And we got to a point where they're like, well, we really trust the advice you gave us. You didn't just do it alone. You actually asked the right questions. You gave us a plan of attack that suited our family and our needs. So now I need a financial planner, as Gino said, or I need this and that. So how do you know who to go to? And we basically figured out that we need some really quality, accountable professionals that are local right here in Santa Cruz, because we all tend to, trust those that are close to us, those that are accountable to our unique community here. That's one big happy family that we love and live and work in most cases. And so what we've done is we've had an advantage, haven't we, Gino, to find these people?
Yeah, I mean, having the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show for 4 years, Don, has been instrumental. And you say, well, why is that instrumental? Why is that any different than calling somebody out of Santa Clarita Magazine or Elite or any of those places? And the reality is we've gotten to call on people that would normally not give you the time of day, right, as originators. If I called somebody and I said, one of these professionals, and I said, hi, I'm a loan originator. I'd love to sit down and pick your brain. They say, I'm busy. I don't have time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So if I wasn't one of their customers, I wouldn't be able to get their time. Those other publications that I mentioned, they're all marketing companies as well, and they're really calling on ads. They're saying, hey, would you like to advertise in our magazine? Would you like to advertise in our magazine? Would you like to advertise in our magazine? So that's a sales call.
Right.
So, most of the things you see out there are generated from a sales call or because somebody knows somebody and they have a friend in the biz. This is really, we had the luxury of vetting these people out by interviewing them. And we've been interviewing
multiple
people for
times.
years. And there's some people that we've interviewed that didn't make the cut. I mean, honestly speaking.
Well, they just don't get an invite back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Not because they aren't good people. It's just they didn't seem to have the quality of knowledge or the focus or desire to really reach out and help as many people as well. A lot of people do sales. It's all about the sales, not the value that they give their clients and the accountability they give their clients. So we put together this group, as Gino mentioned, America's Professional Resource Group. You can find out all the information. We even have a beautiful website at aprgi.com. That's aprgi.com. You probably heard the commercials on KHTS because we're trying to reach out to more of you. If more people get great advice, we're going to have happier people in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and then, one thing that was an unintended consequence of this was the cross-vetting of the members. Yeah. As we started adding members to the group, they would help us nominate new members that should be part of the group, or say, hey, you know what, I've done some work with this person in the past, and things didn't work out quite as planned, so you might want to reconsider.
So we always say, what's the cost of bad advice, Gino?
Oh my God, Priceless.
There you go. There you go. And if you just tune in, you're tuned into the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHS. Now for 4 years, guiding you to personal and financial wellness. Blessed to be part of Skyline Home Loans and helping you with the dream of home ownership. And now we got the National Real Estate Cafe at nrecafe.com, which you can sign up for. Hey, get this. I don't want them to forget, Gino. All right. Don't text and drive. But it's pretty easy. You just basically text NREC, as in National Real Estate Cafe, NREC to 69696. And by the end of the week, we're going to start sending out these 2 to 3 minute clips on what's going on in the financial, real estate, anything regarding what affects your life. And they're just going to be 2 to 3 minute clips with beautiful graphs that back up what we're talking about. And we'll have some fun along the same way. So again, NREC to 69696.
We could have come up with something cooler than that, than NREC.
There's no K at the end, Gino.
Anyways, the reality is, in addition to that, I'm thinking about, we always talk about personal and financial wellness. We've talked a lot about financial wellness, but there's personal wellness that comes with being financially sound and having peace of mind with this, Don, is invaluable. It really is. And so we've got people in here as well. We've got some entertainment for you. We've got some articles and recipes from Salt Creek. I know.
Did you mention it's the Vault magazine?
I didn't.
I think you were just talking about the group, but we actually have collaborated for our 3rd volume now.
Yeah.
A beautiful 54-page. It looks like this looks like Vogue. I'm sorry. This is a magazine put together by Hillary Broadwater. Is absolutely amazing. And like Gino said, what's cool about this is not about ads. Most magazines don't have articles. We have articles in here from the very best professionals who's going to change your life. So go to aprgi.com and subscribe to the Vault magazine. It doesn't cost you anything. We don't sell you anything, and it lands in your email. That easy. Again, the Vault magazine at aprgi.com. I'm holding it up in the camera here at donagino.com. This thing is beautiful. Plus, you get recipes from Salt Creek Grill.
You get to know the difference between the different wine areas.
Yeah, wine
this time
blogs.
I think we've got talking about cider this time around.
Yeah, well, yeah, from our Tom Work. We got all kinds of great information that you need to check out again at aprgi.com. Unfortunately, we gotta head to our next segment. We have the great Myles McNamara with Comfort Keepers. In-home care. He's going to talk about something that's important because, believe it or not, 30% of you are choosing to take care of their loved ones, and he has some other options that may change your life.
And then Myles, as an America's Professional Resource Group member, handles the personal wellness part of things.
There you go. So thank you for being part of our show. Please don't go away because there's so much more to come on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show this Saturday, every Saturday, 9 a.m.